All right, so I am live here. It's Wednesday, and welcome to You Unfolded, the Live and Learn today. We over here in Live and Learns, we silence the standards to unfold your healthy, balanced, and beauty-filled life. We talk about different self-care and wellness and nutrition topics, and today we're actually going to be talking about 3 surprising yet simple self-care ideas that you can start incorporating to your daily routine. So again, I am Yentl Lega. I am your host here. I am a holistic dietitian and certified mental health professional. And my passion is to help women find a clear path towards balance and towards their health without restrictions, reservations, or so-called standards. So, hi, Channing. I see you're watching. So, yes, I will go ahead and get started today. So, what comes to your mind when you think of self-care? And go ahead and put whatever comes to your mind below. When you think of self-care, or if you tell yourself, I'm going to take a little time to self-care today, what comes to mind? What activities do you participate in? And I see some of you are joining in. Hello, welcome, and hi, Mom. Oops, I changed sorry. Hi again. So I was asking what comes to your mind when you think of self-care. So something that actually I hear, the response that I hear a lot actually is things like, I'm going to give myself a mani-pedi today, or get my hair done, get a face mask or hair mask, go to the spa, get a massage, have a nice bubble bath. And yes, these are all amazing ideas to self-care. But what if we changed the verbiage? What if we say, what helps you to disconnect? What comes to mind then? If you think of disconnecting, what are some of the activities that come to your mind? For a lot of you, maybe some of the same things. Maybe, again, going for a mani-pedi, going to the spa, doing a bubble bath. But for others, different things come to mind when they think of disconnect. So sometimes they think of maybe going out for a walk, or actually disconnecting from electronics for a while. Disconnecting from people sometimes is what people think about when we say, what do you do to disconnect? And that's what, first of all, self-care is as well. It's actually about disconnecting, but not necessarily disconnecting from people. Maybe, yes, in some cases, you do need to disconnect from people, but it's more about a disconnect from this constant state of having to be on all the time. We are in a world where we're constantly busy, always have something happening, and it seems like we're always on the go. And that sense of disconnect is actually coming away from that routine of just being busy all the time. So that's part of what being self-care, taking part of self-care is. It's really taking that moment of saying, let me just breathe, give myself a pause, and actually just restore. So we're going to talk about actually 3 self-care ideas that no one talks about. So one of the first ones is napping. So taking a nap. It's a great way to self-care and, again, to disconnect, to actually restore, because sleep is restorative. Sleep is so essential for your physical health, but also your mental health. It is very much needed for you to re-energize. And I mean, how many of you can put a thumbs up or a heart? How many of you would say you're sleep deprived, or you don't get enough sleep at night, or sleep is definitely something you have to work on? How many of you feel that way? You can put a heart or a thumbs up if you feel that way. And then I see, yes, Channing put Netflix and a comfy blanket. Yes, that's such a wonderful self-care. For me, honestly, that's a self-care idea too. So yes, I do see a few of you putting some thumbs there for lack of sleep. Actually, 48% of Americans say that they are sleep deprived. Isn't that insane? I mean, think about it for a second. 48%, that's about half of our population feels sleep deprived. And out of the population, about only 34% takes part in napping. And here's why napping can be so important. So think about it this way. Mammals, if you think about different mammals, they actually sleep in short spurts or short periods throughout the day. I have a dog. Well, I have 3 dogs, and I noticed that they'll have very short spurts of sleep throughout the day. And we as humans, we have consolidated our sleep to just one long period of time, when in actuality, our bodies are programmed for 2 periods of intense sleepiness. So there's one of the periods is like between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. And the other period is from 1 to 3 p.m. Now, does that sound familiar? That 1 to 3 p.m., does that make you think of anything? So yes, the siesta. So there's a lot of countries, not in our Western culture, but a lot of countries that take part in the siesta time. So basically, businesses are even closed during that time. Everybody's in that same routine where it's usually from 1 to 3 or from 1 to 4. Everything is closed. So if you have anything that you need to get done or want to, get groceries or what have you, that time period is blocked off. There are actually even some countries that they honor that time so much that they don't even, it's almost like an unspoken rule that you don't go visit anybody or call anybody. Basically, don't bother anybody during that time. You stay at your house and rest. It's like that. It's like, don't bother me, don't call me, don't contact me. It is siesta time. And now when we think about it this way, we see, wow, it's not entirely our fault that we are sleep deprived. Really only 6% of workplaces in the States have a designated napping room or area. And even probably some of you are thinking, napping at work? Yeah, right. Like, that's kind of weird. But it's actually essential. And napping can have so many benefits. And I see here, Kate, I'm sorry, I'm trying to look at the comments that are coming in. So Kate mentioned, I've been thinking about self-care in a whole new way lately. It doesn't have to be expensive, time-consuming, or fancy. It can be as simple as a shower while the kids sleep, or for me, eating dinner in the hallway alone while the kids eat dinner to clear my mind before homework hits. Yes, definitely. And then Sayad says, corporatism is equivalent to slavery. Americans are overworked with no regard for our mental health. Yes. So yes, exactly what going back, that it's not entirely our fault. And then Kate says, I love naps. I love naps too. So hearts and thumbs up if you all feel the same as well about naps so far. But we're definitely going to go into a little bit more about what those benefits are. So one huge benefit when you look at countries that have siestas, they have lower heart disease rates. And many people still feel baffled or try to look so much at their food, at our nutrition, which it is important. When you look at what most of the, let's say, European countries eat, a lot of people say, well, it's very heavy on the meats, on the starches, and on the cheese. But yet we're healthier, we feel better, we're more energized, and they have lower rates of heart disease. And some have even said, try to attribute it to the wine, but not everyone drinks wine. And really, it's not a coincidence that they have this siesta time, this time of rest, this time of restoration and renewal. So we see that it's more than what we eat. There really is more to our health than the physical. It's like Sayad said, our mental health is something that's so often disregarded, but it's a huge part of us. We can't ignore it. So I'm going to talk about the different types of sleep, because there is, or of naps, sorry, because there is such a thing as a bad nap. So put in the comments as I talk, what duration you think is a good nap. When you think of a nap, what is the time frame you think, okay, this is a good nap time? So put it in the comments, share it as I go. But the ideal nap time, I'm not talking about duration here, but the time of the day, ideally is anywhere between 1 and 4 p.m. Because napping is not about getting into a deep sleep. You actually do not want to get into a deep sleep. This is not if you get into a deep sleep, you're interrupting your sleep cycle later. So you definitely want to if you're getting a nap, anywhere between 1 and 4 p.m. is ideal. I know some of you are thinking, I'm working at that time, how am I going to nap? We'll get into that. But that's the ideal nap time, so it doesn't interrupt your sleep cycle later. And also, because you do not want to get into a deep sleep, ideally you want to be slightly elevated. You don't want to be completely lying down, because we want to prevent the chances of you getting into a deep sleep. So the types of naps, there's different durations. So there's the 2 to 5 minutes micro nap. And this has actually been shown, I know it sounds crazy, like 2 to 5 minutes is nothing, but this has actually been shown to be surprisingly effective at combating sleepiness. When you think about it, if you think about when you, let's say you are studying or you're working and you didn't realize you had dozed off until you're like, your head just kind of like bobs and you're like, oh, whoa. And then you're like wide awake, starting to work again, starting to study again. And there's studies that have shown that it's actually really effective at combating that sleepiness that you felt originally. So a 2 to 5 minute micro nap is actually very effective, and something that we can easily fit in, 2 to 5 minutes, maybe a short little break. If we are at work, a short little break of 2 to 5 minutes, it's not going to be something that gets in the way of your work. In fact, it's going to boost your alertness and take away that sleepiness. So yeah, Kate said after lunch. And so I said, I knock out for an hour or so, but wake up pretty refreshed. Okay, all right, cool. We're going to talk about more on those times too. And then I listened to a whole podcast with a sleep expert recently. It was interesting. And then somebody, Sayad said he naps on the weekends. We're going to continue to talk about the different times. So from 5 to 10 minutes is the mini nap. So we have the micro nap, and now we have the mini nap, which is 5 to 10 minutes. And this also has been shown to increase alertness, stamina, learning, and your performance. So 5 to 10 minutes is still a good time to be able to squeeze. Sometimes some of us, I know that in my workplace, I mean, I work from home, but I work for a company and we have the 8-hour shift, have to clock in, clock out. And we have 15-minute breaks and our 30-minute lunch. So during those 15-minute breaks, I could take a mini nap, which honestly I have, and it works wonders. It really has helped so much for me to come back to my desk, back to work, more refreshed with more alertness and more energy. So this the mini nap. Now the one we all hear, the power nap. So the power nap is anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes. And this one's actually one of the best ones. That's the best time if you want to be able to get straight back to work. So anywhere between the 10 to 20 minutes. So like if my 15-minute break, it's a perfect time to take a nap and then get back up and get back to work. So there's also a NASA nap. It's a 26-minute nap, and it's really funny that it's that specific. But that, if you do, a quick Google search, you're gonna see it's 26 minutes. And the studies have shown that actually they call it the NASA nap because pilots, again, they have co-pilots, so they're not falling asleep at the wheel. Don't get too scared now. So it has been proven by scientists that the 26-minute nap improves pilot performance by 34% and alertness by 54%. So it's actually really great, especially for long international flights. And you definitely want your pilots to be alert and to perform well while we're in the air. So that is an interesting one. Now we have the 60-minute. So there's a 60-minute nap. This is called the slow wave sleep, and then it's actually really great for memory. So it'll help you remember faces, facts, and places better. So they say that this type of nap is actually best before a big presentation or a meeting because it helps you remember things and recall things a little bit better. It can improve your alertness actually even for up to 10 hours. So that to me sounds a lot better than caffeine. And then there's the 90-minute nap. So this one is called the full sleep cycle nap, even though you're not going into the really deep sleep. This one has all the benefits of all the other naps. And it also helps with creativity. And it's a great way to, you get into the realm where you start having bone and muscle repair. So it's actually a really great nap for, let's say, before a big project or a big test. Now, I mentioned there is such a thing as a bad nap. So the bad nap is anywhere between 30 and 40 minutes. That is the bad nap. It causes what is called a sleep inertia or a sleep hangover. Hi, my love. So nice to see you. I'm seeing a lot of my friends come in here on Instagram as well as Facebook. So hello, welcome. And we're talking about the self-care ideas, 3 self-care ideas, and we're talking about the bad nap. So sleep inertia is actually a sleep hangover. So you actually wake up more tired than what you were before you took the nap. And it is actually just past the point of it being a power nap, but it's too short of a time for you to reap the benefits of a longer nap. So that is a bad nap duration. You definitely do want to refrain from doing a 30 to 40 minute nap. And now anything above 90 minutes is no longer a nap. You're sleeping. It's not considered a nap anymore, and it's really not recommended, especially if it's not during your sleep hours. So that is the nap. Now, the second self-care idea that no one talks about is the power of the shower. So Kate, you mentioned that you sometimes just, getting in your shower is a great way to get away, because honestly, the shower is probably one of the only places that we are by ourselves for, especially if like Kate, and I'm sure I have other mamas on here, if you're married, so you're married, you got kids, you have work, you have house, you have you're studying, you got tons of things going on. You're constantly interacting and doing things. Again, that go type of routine. Really, one of the only times that we're alone is when we're in the bathroom and also in the shower. So the shower is a great time, a great place to take advantage and have it be your you time. So one of the things that I recommend a lot, especially for people who love baths and just, sometimes don't either have the time. For example, we have a wonderful, beautiful bath in our new home here, and it's been a few months since we've been able to take advantage of it. So sometimes there's not enough time to reap the benefits of a luxurious bath, or we don't have a bathtub that is really comfortable, or a bathtub at all, to be able to use. So the shower can be therapeutic, and ways that we can do that, which I have done myself, is while you're in the shower, use essential oils. Put one of your favorite relaxing essential oils, maybe in your shampoo, or if you use a liquid soap, put in your soap. If you use a bar soap, try to get soaps that have that are made with essential oils, that you could smell the aroma as you're using it. Apart from essential oils, use music. And it's sometimes best to use instrumental music, not anything with any lyrics, or sometimes even not any music that you recognize the lyrics to. Something that would really be more of a relaxation, of a disconnect. Again, we're talking about self-care is being able to disconnect from our crazy busy routine. So putting some instrumental music on your phone. Of course, don't take your phone with you in the shower if it's not waterproof, but you can put the phone in your bathroom, have the music playing, and while you're showering, actually take advantage of that time of giving yourself nice massage, exfoliation. If any of you have heard of dry brushing, which is it's exactly what it sounds like. It's using a brush to exfoliate your body while your skin is dry. There are many benefits to it. I've done it myself, and it's painful. Oh yes, Zayad mentioned eucalyptus oil. I love eucalyptus oil. And hi, April, nice to see you. I'm looking over here because I'm looking at the comments from Facebook. But yes, and then Laura, mentioned that she loves the bath. It works wonders. But with the shower, you could use the same movements that you would for dry brushing, and still reap the benefits of it, even if it's not dry brushing. So what that is if you have a loofah, ideally a loofah or something, an exfoliating sponge where you put your soap on, and you start from your ankle. So you start from your feet, moving up in circular motions towards your belly. And even your arms, you move in circular motions all the way towards your heart, basically. You're moving in circular motions all the way towards your heart. What that does, actually, it stimulates your lymphatic system, which actually helps to release toxins more easily in your body. And by releasing these toxins, you can actually feel more energized, feel more refreshed, feel more relaxed. Not only does the exfoliation feel good, it actually is stimulating more health for your body. So apart from releasing toxins, it also that exfoliation, it helps to clear out clogged pores, because you're removing the dead skin cells. And by clearing out clogged pores, believe it or not, you're allowing your skin to absorb more nutrients, because your skin is the largest organ of your body. So the exfoliation helps to clear your skin. You'll have not just smoother and brighter skin, but healthier skin at that. And at the same time, you'll reduce ingrown hairs, which nobody likes. And it also helps to tone your muscles, because it helps to even out the distribution of the fat deposits in your body. So you are doing, again, the disconnect of the busy life, at the same time also giving your physical and mental health a little more attention just through showering. Something that most of us do on a daily basis. So, take advantage of that time and do this. Make it therapeutic, make it your short getaway. And lastly, so we talked about napping, we talked about the power of the shower. Lastly, it's play. Play is such a huge, essential thing that we can all take part in to help us disconnect, to help us really disconnect from structure more than anything. Because play is really, it's unstructured. It's an unstructured activity where you're just having fun. I know a lot of my mamas watching, you know the benefits of play by seeing your kids take part in it. And we're actually going to go over how all these benefits are also really important as adults. We were born with this innate desire and this innate ability to be creative. And with, again, how Sayad said, corporatism and just with the way our culture is, we get wrapped up in just working, and don't give ourselves enough play. So play, it helps to relieve stress and ward off depression. It's fun, so it triggers the endorphins. Again, we mentioned the endorphins a couple of times before. This is the feel-good chemicals in our body. And by promoting these endorphins, we just have a greater sense of well-being, and it actually also temporarily relieves pain. So not just physical pain, but emotional pain. So that's why they say laughter is the best medicine, because it truly is. It's scientific. It's science. You do have endorphins that are the feel-good chemicals in our body. And again, going back to the kid example, it helps to actually improve relationships and your connection to others by improving your social skills. So if when a child wants to play or is willing to play with you, it shows that they trust you. It shows that they feel a connection with you, right? I'm sure a lot of you mamas out there would agree. Yes, whenever your child is shy or just doesn't want to, play with another kid or another adult just yet, they're kind of like feeling things out, like, I don't know you, I don't trust you yet, like, But the moment they do start to participate in play, it's like they're not inhibited. They're free. They feel like they know this person, they trust this person, and it's such a great way for us to learn not just trust with each other, but compassion towards others, because we, at a very young age, we learn the give and take of play. So that comes into play as adults as well. If we participate in play, and play doesn't have to be a specific activity. It can also be a state of mind. Somebody who's playful, cheerful, is a person that can help loosen up during stressful situations, break the ice with strangers, make new friends. These are all things that how we can incorporate play as adults. It's not necessarily just tied to a specific activity. It keeps your relationships fresh and exciting. When you have humor in a relationship, it really strengthens that bond. It gives that relationship vitality. And it also helps to release any resentments or any pain or past hurts. So play is a great way actually to self-care. So even though this doesn't involve a disconnect from people, it's the opposite, but it does involve a disconnect from that routine. So that's why this is such an important way to self-care. Through play, you could also improve your brain function. You know, if you do actually take part in games and puzzles, things that where you have to problem solve a little bit more, these actually help to reduce any memory problems and improves your brain functioning. It stimulates imagination, which boosts your creativity even more. And it helps you actually, because you're able to problem solve better, you're also more resilient and more adaptable to change, which is so important. We know that there's no constant in life. So to be able to have that emotional and mental resilience is so important. And play also makes your work so much more enjoyable. So this is key. You know, we always try to separate the two, but the more you are involved in play, it boosts your innovation because it boosts your creativity. So it helps you be more productive. Because it refreshes your mind and body, so you're more energized to work. My mom said Sudoku. Yes, Sudoku is a great play game. You know, play also encourages teamwork, and it helps you see problems in new ways. And lastly, it really keeps you feeling young. You know, and now we're taking it to the grandparents. I know we were talking about the parents, now the grandparents. You know, grandparents will tell you that the grandkids keep them young because it keeps them energized, keeps them playing, gives them vitality, and that vitality is good also for your physical health. It helps to increase the resistance to disease. So I will wrap it up with this quote that actually was mentioned a lot in the movie Tag. I don't know if any of you have seen it. I think it was a pretty funny movie. I enjoyed it. It is, the quote is, "We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing." And I'm going to read some of your comments here. So yeah, Sayad said, "Your brothers know one of the best ways to play video games." Yes. And then my mom mentioned just jigsaw puzzles, and she loves puzzles, but hasn't done any lately. But yes, these are 3 really wonderful ways to take part in self-care. Again, napping, the power of the shower, and play. And feel free to comment below if there was anything that surprised you, or actually comment below on which one of these you'll take part in tomorrow and in what way. And I say tomorrow because I know it's evening. Many of us are going to be wrapping things up. Many of us probably already showered and it's too late to nap. So mention in the comments, how are you going to take part in one of these 3 things tomorrow? And also, I did want to mention that because many of you have asked for natural energy boosters, this is a question I get asked a lot. I am doing a free webinar. I'm not selling anything on it. It's just a free health class that I want to provide to all of you. It's how to increase your energy naturally. And I did put the link, actually, it's on Facebook. So my Instagram peeps, the link is in the bio. So you can register, it's free. It's gonna be October 23rd. It's a Tuesday at 8 p.m. and it's gonna be live. It's gonna be me giving the presentation and a Q&A afterwards. And also next week, I'll be back here again, Wednesday, 8 p.m. And we're actually going to be talking about, we spent a lot of time talking about napping today as well. We're going to be talking about tips for better sleep next week. So again, on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'll be back here for the Live and Learn. And that is it for tonight. You all have a safe, I know many of you might know of some people or are in the path of the hurricane, so please be safe and sleep soundly tonight. And I see some of you commenting to each other, so it was wonderful to see you all on here. Thank you for tuning in, and remember to silence the standards because you are more. Bye guys.